Now, is it visible now? PDF is visible? Yes, good. Yeah, today we'll continue with test for contact resistance of circuit breaker pole. There will be resistance in every part of the circuit breaker. Sometimes we want the resistance as a very small value, and at some of the parts we want the resistance as a very high value. When we are expecting resistance should be very high, then it acts like an insulator. And when we are expecting the resistance should be very low, then it is acting like a conductor. Here we are discussing about the circuit breaker pole. Circuit breaker pole. Pole means contacts. What should be the resistance? Should it be very less or large? Common sense. Respond to me. Bhavana. Are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Respond to my question. Hazra.
No, sir. When current is high, resistance is low, sir.
When current is high, resistance is low. When current is high, resistance is low. Mm, no, for the circuit breaker pole, what is expected? Should the resistance be small or high? Low or high? Is the question. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದವ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ. ಎಸ್ ಸಾಗರ್. Answer.
No, sir.
Don't break, don't, do not break your sentences. Take time, take time. 30 second, 1 minute time to speak. Okay. Don't immediately switch off your, don't mute your mic quickly. Yeah, go ahead. Hazra.
In the circuit breaker, the resistance should be low, sir.
Sagar.
Resistance will be low, sir, in circuit breaker.
Gautam. Bhavna.
Sir, zero resistance will be there, sir. Zero resistance.
It cannot be zero for practical reasons, it should be as minimum as possible because we are using the poles contacts as the path for electricity. So the resistance of the pole should be less, as less as about 20 micro ohm. Very small it is. My 20 micro ohm is very, very small. Multiplied by m, where m is the number of joints, contacts in series per pole. To measure this small resistance, we have two methods. First one is the ohm meter. Ohm meter, but normal ohm meter cannot do it. Therefore, we have to go for micro ohm meter. As the resistance is in micro ohms, we have to use micro ohm meter, which is connected across the terminals of the pole as you do in the laboratory. So directly it measures the resistance between those 2 points. It can be read. And second method is millivolt drop method. Millivolt drop. See, look at the heading. Look at the first heading. It is ohm meter. Therefore, resistance can very well be measured with ohm meter. That's not a problem at all. Second method is millivolt drop. So here what we are doing, the voltage drop across the circuit breaker pole is measured for different values of DC current. We make DC current to flow through the circuit breaker and voltage drop is measured, for which what we require is voltmeter. Known currents, known DC currents are made to flow and we are measuring the voltage drop across the circuit breaker by voltmeter. Here we are using millivoltmeter. What this voltmeter measures is, it measures when the current is flowing through the contacts, there will be current I, there will be resistance R. So multiplication of I and R it gives, voltmeter gives the product of I and R. So that is nothing but voltage drop. Voltage drop is because of the resistance of the contacts. Here generally the DC current is kept high but less than the rated current. That is a requirement. Therefore, it's very easy. Once we know the current is anyway known to us, so we know the current, we know the voltage voltage drop which is being measured across the poles. Therefore, R can be calculated very easily. So this is how we calculate the contact resistance of circuit breaker, which is in micro ohms. This must be remembered. Then we have impulse voltage test. Impulse voltage test. Yeah. How many experiments you completed in your HV lab? Those who are attending the offline laboratory work. 5 experiments are completed. Okay. Everything on HV or switch gears?
HV1 complete.
HV is 1 and 4 are from switch gears.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I see.
Okay. This impulse voltage test is conducted on both indoor circuit breakers and outdoor circuit breakers. Standard impulse wave is applied 5 times in succession. Standard impulse wave is applied between the terminals of the circuit breaker 5 times continuously, one after another, continuously. During this test, this impulse wave in the reverse polarity is also applied. And next is from where we are getting the impulse waveform. It is from the impulse voltage generator, which you have witnessed during your HV test, how we generate a very high voltage, and that is called impulse voltage generator. One terminal of the impulse generator is connected to the terminal of the circuit breaker, and the other terminal is connected to the earth. So we would like to test if I apply an impulse between this, what happens to the circuit breaker. The peak value of the impulse voltage and its shape is recorded using the CRO. The different voltages will have different front wave and trail wave. You can see the standard impulse waveform which is being applied. So this is the voltage we are applying, and we may change the amplitude of this. It may go something like this also. That is also possible, or we can still peak it and reduce it in a faster way. So this is called wave front until the peak. From the zero until the peak is called wave front, and this is called wave trail. So this is the sample of impulse wave we apply for the between the terminals of the circuit breaker. First at one terminal and the earth, and the next time the second terminal and the earth, and next time the third terminal and the earth, based on the number of phases. During the test, if there is any failure of the insulation or puncture, it will be considered as the circuit breaker has failed. So this impulse voltage test is basically done for finding any faults in the insulation of the circuit breaker. So if it passes the impulse voltage test, then the circuit breaker is okay. Then we have short circuit testing station and the short circuit test. To conduct short circuit test, we have the short circuit testing station. The purpose of this short circuit test is to prove the ratings of the circuit breaker and to also know the behavior of the circuit breaker during R&D. Because while designing it, while developing it, we have to simulate all the practical conditions in the laboratory. Therefore, we require a short circuit generating station. So we generate the short circuit in the laboratory and apply to the circuit breakers. The short circuit testing plants are built specially to provide facility for short circuit testing. Provisions are made to test the complete capability of the circuit breaker by direct and indirect tests. The short circuit power is supplied yes. Aisha, is my voice clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there was some network issue. Is the screen visible? PDF, PDF screen? Okay, okay. The short circuit power is supplied. So to generate this short circuit power, we have a testing station. It is called short circuit generators. There are normally two or more generators. The generators are driven by three-phase induction motor and special type of excitation called impulse series resistors and reactors are provided for adjusting the magnitude of the short circuit current. Okay, it's all the arrangement basically, how this short circuit station is. And what we can what we can take the output from the short circuit testing station is the magnitude of the current, amplitude of the current. So whatever current you would like to take, you can just take it from the short circuit, and the power factor also you can decide. Current at this particular power factor we can decide, and now that is the output of the testing station, which can be utilized for as a input for the circuit breaker to carry out this short circuit test. Yeah, this is some layout of the short circuit test station. We can see here it is a short circuit generator we have. Then we have a master circuit breaker. Master circuit breaker is to isolate between the test equipment and the short circuit generator. Then we have reactors, switch, and this part is the circuit breaker under test. This is what we would like to test. The preliminary preparation of the circuit breaker testing includes connecting the equipments, all the equipments, adjusting the magnitude of the reactors, contacts and sequence switches to get desired timing. Yeah, short circuit is going to be applied for a particular time. That is being decided. Here, the circuit breaker should be capable of performing the opening and closing operations as per the rated operating sequence for all the values of the short circuit current up to its rated short circuit breaking current as specified test voltage and relevant conditions of the transient recovery voltage for the terminal short circuits. So basically, whatever we are expecting, once the short circuit current is applied to the circuit breaker, ಹಲೋ, ಬಂದಿ ಮನೆ ಕಡೆ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಮಗ್ಲು ಹೋಗ ಆಂಟಿ ಇವ್ರ ಕಡೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗಲಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ಚಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಮೂಲ್ಯಾಗನ, ಅದನ್ನ ಎತ್ತು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸಿಕ್ತು? ಹ್ಞೂ, ಆಯ್ತು. ಹೌದು 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 ಹೌದು, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಫೋನ್ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳು ಮಾತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಹ್ಞೂ ಹ್ಞೂ, ಸರಿ. 10:00. ಹ್ಞೂ, 11. 11. ಹ್ಞೂ ಹ್ಞೂ. The circuit breaking current which we are applying on application of this short circuit current, it is expected that the circuit breaker to perform its expected operations. There is something called synthetic testing of the circuit breaker. What is synthetic testing? Synthetic test uses both voltage and current sources of low magnitude. The current source provides short circuit current and the voltage source provides restriking voltage besides the recovery voltage. Synthetic testing. What is it? We have two kinds of surges. One is the voltage surge, second one is the current surge. So under this synthetic testing, we apply both of them. Let us see the circuit for that. Synthetic testing of circuit breaker. Here, this is the circuit breaker under test. Here you can see the voltage source is applied and the current source is also applied on the circuit breaker. So what is the significance of this? The resistance, inductance and capacitance are used to get the desired test conditions, because we have to create a resonance circuit. There are two kinds of resonance circuits, you are aware. One is the voltage resistance resonance and the current resonance. To get that, we require all these parameters, RLC. Once they must be in series, and at the other side they must be in parallel. Therefore, we can see this is the parallel circuit, whereas this is in the series. In this way, we can create the parallel and series resonance so that we can apply the surge voltage and surge current to the circuit breaker which we are trying to test. This is how the circuit breaker can be tested for TRV, transient recovery voltage. Both current and sources can be independently varied. Yeah, because of the independent voltage sources, we can either increase the current or we can either increase the voltage to test the circuit breaker as per the IS, of course, as per the IS. Yeah, these were the various tests to be conducted on circuit breakers. And the next part comes as installation. There are two words One is the installation, second one is the commissioning. These are the steps for installation and commissioning of the outdoor circuit breakers, and all the guidance are generally given by the manufacturer. So these are the guidelines. Prepare foundation, support structure for the circuit breaker to position it, check for the horizontal level, assemble operating mechanisms, extend supply to auxiliary system. Why auxiliary system? Because we have to operate some relays for tripping the circuit and closing the circuit. Therefore, we require auxiliary system. Major insulation resistance. Check open and closing of the contacts. These are all physical checks. Make terminal connections. Operate breaker from local control panel. So first, initially you test it with the manual operation. Then it is from the control panel. Operate the breaker from the control room by operating the relays. See, now the operator is in the control room, through which by releasing the relay, he is going to operate the circuit breaker. After testing all these things, you can put the circuit breakers into service. Already we have seen what are the factors to be considered for selecting a circuit breaker. Circuit breakers are generally used at various voltage levels. These are the factors we must consider while selecting a circuit breaker. Rating, breaking time, what is the breaking time you require, ambient conditions, whether it is being used in warm conditions or cold conditions, type, indoor or outdoor. If it is outdoor, it must be, enclosure must be good so that we can protect it from the environmental conditions. Then control desired, whether you want automatic control, manual control, semi-automatic control, remote control, all those things will be covered under this. Type of operating mechanisms, type of breaker based on the arc extinction medium. Arc extinction medium. What is this? Arc extinction medium. In our previous class, we have discussed what are the different types of arc extinction. First one is the air circuit breaker, natural air. Then we have air blast. Then we have oil circuit breaker. Yeah, SF6. Correct. Air blast, oil circuit breaker. Then we have gas circuit breaker. That gas is called SF6. Sulfur. To be operated alone or in group. This is also one of the condition how the circuit breaker has to operate. Whether it is an independent circuit breaker or it has to operate in the group. Operate in the group means generally the circuit breakers are in series because it is carrying the live current. Frequency of operation. Frequency of operation means after sensing the short circuit, how much time it has to wait before operating. And once it operates, operate means it actually opens. After opening, how many seconds it has to wait and again make the circuit. So it is the frequency of operation and other protective equipment which are to be coordinated with this particular circuit breaker. These are the things we consider while selecting the circuit breaker. Then coming to installation procedure, installation. Look at this installation procedure. This installation procedure is same for all the equipments, all electrical equipments. Most of the time, these are the standard guidelines. In the process of installation of circuit breakers, the preliminary preparations are to be made. What is that? Study of the drawings, then acceptance reports, checking the certificates, test reports. Why we are doing all these things? To check whether have we received the ordered material or not. Sometimes it might also happen that somebody else's goods we must have received, and directly we cannot install them. These things are to be tested. Completion of civil engineering work, arranging the tools, organizing the labor, preparation of schedule of the installation. It is a schedule. Schedule means the sequence. What needs to be installed first, and later on what thing will go. Preparation of the sequence cards. This is an old system actually, sequence cards. Nowadays it is all the computerized. These are the list of different steps while installing the circuit breakers. Sequence card for erection of switchgear equipment. Sequence card means what first and what next. Location of the switchgear, by looking at the drawing, it has to be properly located. Unpacking, foundations, erections, bus bar earthing connections, connecting with the main cables, and taking care of the earthings. If you look at these procedures for installation, for all the equipments, they are generally the same. In place of switchgear, you can write a transformer. In place of switchgear, you can write generator. All other things remain same. So this is how you can make a common answer for such questions. Some standard questions, we can make the common answers. So whatever may be the equipment, we can straight away write and explain it. Then there are low voltage circuit breakers, generally in the range of 1000 to 1200 volts, and all other things remain same. So I'm not going into it. Tests on low voltage, they are again the same. Tests are same whether it is a low voltage or high voltage. Type test, routine test. Yeah, this is an important topic. Possible troubles, causes, and corrective actions for outdoor circuit breakers. So this thing will let us discuss during our next class. So we need to look into what is the kind of trouble we are observing and why this has happened, possible causes, and what corrective actions we need to carry out. This 4.7, let us discuss in our next class. Please wait for a minute. I'll take your attendance and then you can leave the class.